dreamed about moving abroad, you already know how exciting it sounds. The part people don't talk about enough behind all that excitement is money. Costs that are overwhelming can sneak up on you if you're not prepared. When I first started researching relocation, I thought the big expenses were just the flight tickets and the visa fee. But once I got into it, I realized there are layers of spending that no one warns you about. The ones that happen before you even leave, right after you arrive, and even months after you've settled in. I am Ruby, and in this video, I want to walk you through what relocation really costs, the one that no one tells you about, so you can plan properly and avoid unnecessary financial stress. By the end of this video, you would have a clear picture of what it actually takes financially to move abroad and how to plan smarter so you don't find yourself stuck or stressed out in a new country. The first phase of relocation begins the moment you decide to move. It's the planning and preparation stage, and it's usually where the foundation of your budget is built. At this point, you will start spending on paperwork, applications, and travel arrangements. The biggest expense here is usually your visa fee, which varies depending on the country and the type of visa you're applying for. For example, applying for a UK skilled worker visa can cost anywhere from £600 to over £1,000 depending on how long you intend to stay. If you're heading to Canada, the cost can be around 150 to 500 Canadian dollars. For European countries like Poland or Finland, it's generally cheaper, usually between 80 and 200 euros. After that comes the flight. Your ticket price depends heavily on when you book and where you're flying from. If you're traveling from Africa or Asia to Europe, you can expect to pay around $600 to $1,000 for a one-way ticket. To destinations like Canada, the US, or the UK, tickets can go as high as $500, especially during busy travel seasons. Then there is the medical aspect. Most countries will require a medical check or health insurance before granting you a visa. Medical exams often cost between $100 and $400, and international health insurance can range between $300 and $1,000 per year depending on the coverage and the country. Sometimes what many people overlook is document preparation. You will spend money getting transcripts, police clearance, notarization, and sometimes certified translations. It might not look like much at first, but all those small payments add up quickly. Easily another $100 to $300 in total. If your visa categories requires proof of funds, this is another major factor. It's not money you spend directly, but it's money you must have sitting in your account to show how you can support yourself when you get over there. For instance, Canada asks for roughly 13,000 Canadian dollars for a single applicant, while Finland expects proof of funds around 560 euros per month of stay. The UK requires at least 1,000 to 2,070 pounds in your account for a single person. Depending on your visa type, you might also need to pay a tuition deposit or an advance for accommodation on before you travel. So these payments can range anywhere from 1 to 5,000 euros. When you combine everything, visa, flight, insurance, document fees, and initial payments, your pre-departure stage could cost between $3,000 and $8,000 depending on the country you're going to. Now, this is where most people get a shock. The moment they land, your settlement stage begins from your first day in your new country. And it's when you will spend the most money within the shortest time. The first thing you will face is accommodation. You will need a place to stay, and depending on your destination, that can be a big portion of your budget. In Poland, a modest one-bedroom apartment in the city center can cost around 500 and 700 euros per month. In Finland, that figure jumps to around 800 to 1200 euros. In the UK, depending on the city, you could be paying between 1000 and 1500 pounds monthly. And if you're going to Canada, expect to spend between 1200 and 2000 Canadian dollars each month just on rent. Most landlords abroad also require deposits, sometimes 1 to 3 months of rent in advance. So if your rent is 1000 euros per month, you might need to pay 2 or 3000 euros before you even move in. Then comes your basic living costs, that is your food, transport and utility. Might seem minor individually, but together they make up a big part of your monthly spending. In Europe, you will likely spend about 200 to 400 euros monthly on groceries. If you're in the UK or Canada, expect closer to 300 to 500. Utilities like electricity, heating, internet and water will cost another 100 to 200 euros every month depending on the city and the weather. Transportation is another unavoidable cost. Many people rely on public transport in their first few months. In cities like Warsaw or Helsinki, monthly passes ranges from 40 to 80 euros. In London, that could be between 100 and 150 pounds. If you're staying in temporary accommodation like an Airbnb or short-term rental, expect higher costs until you secure a permanent home. And don't forget small but unnecessary expenses like mobile data, SIM card, or even buying basic home items like bedsheets, plates, pots, or toiletries. In total, your settlement period, the first to 3 months abroad, can cost anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 depending on your country, housing choice and lifestyle. Now let's talk about the part that catches almost everyone off guard, the hidden expenses. These are the costs that don't appear on any visa checklist but will drain your wallet if you don't plan ahead. One of the biggest is currency exchange and banking fees. Every time you convert your money or send funds internationally, you lose a percentage, usually between 3 and 5%. That might not sound like much, but if you're moving $10,000, that's a few hundred gone just to fees. If you're relocating to a colder country, winter clothing is another unavoidable cost. Jackets, boots, gloves, and thermals can easily add up to $300 to $800, especially if you arrive during winter. There are also costs linked to paperwork or delays. For example, if your medical result expires before your visa is processed, you have to pay for another test. If your document translation wasn't accepted, you will pay again. Then there is security deposit for your accommodation, which can take a big bite from your savings at once. You might also spend on temporary transport like taxis from the airport or train rides to register at city offices. This alone can add another $100 or $200 to your total spendings. And of course, we buy small things that you didn't think of before. Kitchen utensils, winter beddings, or even the first set of groceries when you move in. All these little things can cost another $200 to $500 easily. It's these hidden costs that usually make people feel like their money disappears too fast. The best way to manage them is to always add about 20% extra to whatever relocation budget you estimate. To put this all in perspective, let's look at a realistic comparison. If you're moving to Poland, your total relocation cost, including pre-departure and the first 3 months, might range between $4,000 and $6,000. It's one of the more affordable European destinations. In Finland, the same move could cost around $6,000 to $8,000. The standard of living is higher, so are the prices. In the UK, expect between $7,000 and $10,000 in total for your first few months. And in Canada, that figure can go as high as 10 to 12,000, especially if you're settling in cities like Toronto or Vancouver. It all depends on where you go, how early you prepare, and how disciplined you are with spending. Relocation isn't just about moving to a new country. It's about building a new life, and building a new life takes planning. When you understand the real costs, not just the ones you see online, you move smarter, save better, and settle faster. So before you start packing, take time to budget properly. Know what you will spend before, during, and after your move. That's how you relocate with confidence, not confusion. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Bye!